everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and we're back to some wargaming goodness. Today I'm looking at Conflict of Heroes with the solo expansion. And to quickly break this down, because it is a bit confusing, the solo expansion was made for the second edition of Conflict of Heroes, but it changed several of the core rules, especially around activating units, and then they came out with a third edition of the game that basically uses the same rules, but adds some other stuff onto them. But then some of the hex numbers change and some of the card numbering, so they have guides online, so it's a bit of a mishmash. See my separate review video if you want to hear some more about that. But taking all of that away, this is a really smooth, really cool AI that I'd like to show you, and in this case I'm showing you Solo Mission 4, which is kind of a riff from one of the early missions from the core game, where the Germans, who I'll be controlling, are trying to come north, take control of these spots in the middle, root out these Russian partisans defending the area, and in this case protect some trucks that'll be going down the road. I'm going to start by giving a very quick overview of the game. I'm not going to get into rule details, I'll explain those as they come up. Then I'm going to do a full solo playthrough. And if you like what you see on the One Stop Co-op Shop, please consider supporting us on Patreon for great perks like early access to our videos, voting on games we cover, listen to our podcast every week, check out our separate streamed channel for more content, and hey, subscribe, because it's a good place. So the core mechanic that everything else in Conflict of Heroes hinges on is the activation system. On a player's turn, they can pick one unit or sometimes more than one unit adjacent to each other in a group and have them do something like moving or attacking or trying to rally if they've been injured. And each of those actions will have an activation value, like for this Russian Maxim machine gun, they've got a 2 for their movement and a 3 for their attack. And what you do is, after you execute whatever action you want with the unit, you roll this custom D10. This is in the third edition of the game. It goes from 1 to 7. And if you roll equal to or less than the activation number, like, remember this guy was a 3 to shoot, so if I rolled a 3 here, they become spent, and generally can't do any more actions for the round, unless you use what are called command points that we'll get to in a minute. But if they aren't spent, they can keep on doing stuff. So this machine gun could fire multiple times in a round, or a unit could run down this entire road and get right to that control point. Now, I'm not going to use the dice in this playthrough. Instead, in the solo expansion, they have a solo set of cards, which indicate what action the AI will use. They basically go from top to bottom until they find something that applies. But at the bottom, it also has a value from 1 to 7, just like the die, that can be substituted to see when units become spent. And speaking of units, just to go through their statistics real quick, I already said that's their attack activation cost and their movement activation, so lower numbers are better here. These are their firepower values. Now for this mission, we basically only have infantry units, so people are just going to be using the red values. Blue would be used to attack armored units like tanks. And these are their defense values. The higher number, the 12 in this case, is when they are facing the unit. If they get flanked with someone behind them, they use the lower value. And this is their basic range. You can shoot it up to double of that, but it's pretty terrible chances if you do. So usually you're going to be within your normal range. Now, to give you the gist of the basic narrative of this particular mission, I'm going to be moving my German units up from the south. And you'll notice there are all these little gray tokens on the board. These are what are called rumored enemies, only used in the solo expansion. I have a bag of randomized enemy tokens, including some no enemy tokens. And whenever we get line of sight on one of these people, or when we shoot them hard enough, or when they try to attack us, we'll get to find out who they are and whether they're an actual enemy or not. And in this mission, more and more of those guys are going to pop up, and they'll get more and more reinforcements. And what we really want to do first is capture this control point, because it's going to give consistent victory points to the Russian side every couple of rounds, as you'll see. If we can get it flipped to the German side, that'll help us out a lot. Additionally, for both sides, every unit they kill will be worth 1 victory point. And then I had mentioned some trucks will eventually be coming in randomly on either the north or south side of the map. And if the Russians blow those up, they get a victory point. If the trucks can escape out the opposite hex, the Germans will earn a victory point. And a few other kind of key concepts and areas before we jump in. First of all is the solo tracking sheet. Two main things here. First, we've got the victory point track. So right now we have the Russians on 1, so they are winning the scenario. If it ended immediately, they would be the victors. And I'd mentioned them getting a victory point whenever they defeat somebody, and us getting a victory point. And the key thing is, in solo and in 3rd edition, you never have 0 victory points. So if I, as the Germans, got one right now, I would just flip it and I would be winning. So you just kind of skip over 0 and go right to your side of the victory point track. You also have these command points I had mentioned earlier. You can basically use these as modifiers on pretty much any die roll. And even sometimes more important, you can use them to make your activations less likely to spend your unit. And if you can spend the complete cost of an activation, like 3 for this machine gun to attack, if I spent 3 of these command points, then I wouldn't even have to roll or draw a card. My unit would automatically stay fresh, would not become spent, and I could do more actions with them. And finally, something else unique to solo is the mission track. You start right here, and as the AI resolve their actions, we'll get more to how these work and kind of how they calculate what they'll do as we play. Some of these cards will advance the mission track, and it has different effects that are unique to the mission as it advances. So like here we have these place REs, these rumored enemy tokens. More people will pop up that might be dangerous to us. We also get reinforcements. The Soviets get some extra rifles, and eventually the Germans will get 1 extra kind of flamethrower unit. And you'll also see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times we'll score 1 victory point for whichever side controls that 1 hex in the center. And there's lots of other little rules for the scenario, but again, we'll get into it as we play. I think that'll be an easier way to kind of digest it all. So let's try things out, get into the solo playthrough, and see how we do. So first of all, at the beginning of every round, I get to draw 1 battle card from a randomly shuffled deck. And these will either have a green box or a blue box. A blue box means it'll cost me some of my command points, which represents my leadership and such, putting some extra effort into one part of the battlefield. But when it's a green, I actually have to choose a unit to do this action. And in doing so, this becomes the action number that might make them become spent. So here I can roll 1d6 and add the result to my command points track for this round only, so I can get a bunch of extra command points. Although I can't go above my maximum, I don't think, so I probably want to wait until I've spent basically all of my 6 before I would play this. And this will hang around until future rounds, so I'll just kind of put it to the side here until I want to use it. And in this scenario, I start with initiative. In future rounds, we'll roll off for it, and I can spend command points to have a better chance of going first. And I've got 4 units to start out, 2 machine guns and 2 rifle units. To compare their statistics, they both move for 1. The machine guns have an easier time shooting over and over again, which of course makes sense. The machine guns attack harder with 4 firepower. They usually have the same defense unless the machine gun is flanked, and the machine gun can fire further. So, generally speaking, the machine gun is better. By the way, the white boxes behind their firepower basically means that if somebody gets into close combat with them, is in the exact same hex as them, they are in a bad way. They want to shoot at you from far away. And my priority, number 1, is to try to get to the control hex as fast as I can, but I want to keep the woods between me and potential attackers, because they can't shoot through any forest hex. It blocks line of sight. And when you first move on from outside of the board, you just go onto one of the hexes on the edge, one of the full hexes. And for moves and attacks, you can do what's called a group move, where more than one unit does it at the same time. I'm going to bring in both of these rifles as a group move. They would have to be adjacent to each other. And basically, I only draw 1 card or roll 1 die for their activation. Their movement value is 1, which means only a roll or draw of 1 would make them become spent. But if I drew that, they would both become spent because it's a group action. Moving into terrain or trying to walk backwards from where they're facing, which is that little green side there, would make it more likely to spend them. But in this case, I'm going to be safe and spend 1 command point to not even draw a card, because I don't want them to become spent right now. Now, something new to 3rd edition that you can put back into the solo rules as well is this stress mechanic, which means once a unit is activated, you mark them. You can mark them with these or just remember. And that means if you activate them again on your next turn, any of their actions will have +1, making them more likely to become spent. Kind of forcing you to mix and match. You don't just have like one guy run across half of the battlefield before you activate any of your other units. Now we go to the enemy AI turn, and you always draw the top card of the deck for them. And first you're going to check the green, and is there any time or anything else indicated here? In this case, no. Next, you'll look for these priority actions, and you're always going from top to bottom, doing the first one that actually applies. And this means a close combat action. If an AI soldier is in the same space as a human unit, that's what they call them, by the way, AI and unit, then they would attack or try to run away. If they're 1 hex away at close range, they would try to do that, but we are very far from each other, so we can just skip that section entirely. And then we just start looking for things that apply. So here it says the highest attack rating AI that's closest to a fresh unit, one that's not spent, hasn't lost their chance to act for the turn, that just acted, so like just moved or did something, they will attack them with a +1 bonus. I know that seems like a lot, but it gets pretty straightforward once you get used to it. I'm not in line of sight of anybody. That's kind of why I went where I went. I mean, maybe I'm in line of sight of this guy, but they count as having a range of 5, and the AI will never attack outside of their basic range unless indicated on the card. So we can skip that because attacking is impossible. We can skip this. Rallying is how units heal when they've been damaged. Nobody's been damaged. Skip the other attack ones, we just go right to executing mission orders. And this is another thing that's going to be unique for each scenario. In this case, it says the AI farthest from a unit or a German control marker moves towards it. So in this case, this German control marker is closer to the AI than my units. And by the way, these control markers, the German ones, are used in an interesting way in this scenario. They're basically there just to try to get the AI to move into better defensive positions. And if I can get to this one first, I remove it, and they're kind of stuck where they are back there. Whereas if they charge up here, they'll get another one that'll help them kind of move their units in a more intelligent way. So it's just a little encouragement for me to run up to that. But yeah, in this case, this RE and this RE are both equidistant from the control marker. So we just roll off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and oh, this is actually kind of good. I want this guy to get out of this nice defensive position. So he's going to move towards the control marker. He has to get closer, which could be this hex or this hex. And let's say using my handy-dandy line of sight from center to center, either way he'll be seen by these guys and he won't be in cover in terrain. That gives him a defensive bonus like woods. So we'll get to find out if he's actually a unit or not. But he could move here or here. He's supposed to make the choice that's kind of worse for you, so I'll say he'll be further away. And we draw randomly. And it is a basic Russian rifle unit. Pretty tough for them to fire more than once in a round. They have an activation cost of 4, 3 firepower, only 5 range, and about the same defense as my guys. So they go here. We flip them to have as many guys in firepower as possible, also going toward where they were going. And since they move, we draw a card, see what their activation number is. It's a 2 or greater. They were doing a 1 action, so they are not spent. But we will say they are stressed in case they activate again next time. And that's 1 AI turn. Let's try to get like my machine gun in here and blast that guy while he's out in the open. So yeah, to that end, I'm going to move my machine gun up into this little light wood space. Light woods is the lighter green. Dark woods gives better defense. Now, because I'm moving into terrain, that is a 2 cost action instead of 1. Should I use command points? Nah, I'll take my chances. And good, I did. Got a 5, so totally fine. But now this guy is stressed, and I'm ready to activate them again without penalty. Okay, our second AI card is a command order. This is supposed to represent the AI using their command points. They don't have any, but as though they were. So the key thing is that any action that is taken on this card, first of all, can be performed by a spent unit, because if you spend enough command points to make an action free, even a spent unit can do it, so they can like still get off a surprise shot or something. But the other big thing for the AI is that they don't even have to draw a card for whatever action they take with this card. It automatically will not spend them. So we're still skipping these. Nobody's hurt, so no rally. Oh, now here, this one might actually matter. The AI in 0 DM hex, so that means a hex with 0 defensive modifier. Basically this idiot standing out in the middle of a grassy field. Closest to a unit or a mission objective will do a low-risk move towards the cover closest to that target. So first of all, to spread things out a bit, this guy's in a 0 DM hex, and so is this guy. And he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from a unit or control marker. We don't count ones that they already control, because they don't really care about those. And this guy's 4, so it's going to affect the guy that just acted. And sadly for us, he's going to do a low-risk move towards us. Low-risk move basically means that they try to get out of where you can shoot them, or they try to get into the best cover they can. So this guy's going to run right back to where he was, basically. And it's unfortunate this was a command order because even though he moved with 1 activation, he moved into terrain, he moved backwards, which is a +1, he had a stress on him, he would have needed to get a 5 or higher to not become spent. So yeah, definitely a bummer that he didn't have to face that music. Alright, I do have one more machine gunner to bring out, but I think I still want to focus on these guys getting to the control marker. I lost my chance to get a nice shot with my machine gun, so let's move our friends here. And we'll do the same thing we did last time. We'll move them both up in a group move, spend a single command point. So basically we're getting more bang for our buck with our command points by doing this. Our machine gunner's no longer stressed, but they are. And just to show, we're down to 4. Oh, and yuck, another command order. So this time you'll see that under priority there is execute counter actions. This is going to happen. Let's look at what the scenario says. So this is a unique order along with the mission order. It says an AI with no unit within 3 hexes. Remember, AI is them, unit is us, so none of my guys close to them. That's also closest to a German control marker. It does a low-risk move towards it, trying to stay out of our line of sight, trying to stay in cover. So the closest guy to a German control unit is this one. And certainly none of my guys are within 3 hexes. And he's going to do a low risk, so he wants to stay outside of my firing angle. That would go through the woods. Oh, I actually would have line of sight if he went there. So he's definitely going to go down here as he tries to get closer to that control marker, because now I can't see him to reveal him or maybe shoot at him. So he takes the stress from the other Russian unit, but it was a command order, so we don't draw to see if he actually becomes spent. All right, so dang it, they're trying to charge over to that thing. I could move these guys again, but I don't want to risk making them both spent. Well, let's see. Right now my machine gunner doesn't even have line of sight. What if he moved up here to get a better kind of angle of attack? You can move, by the way, and shoot into any of the 3 hexes in kind of your front firing arc, so directly in front of you and the one to the left and the right, and that kind of continues out. So you can move there without penalty, and you can also shoot into those areas. Yeah, let's have him go like that. That's going to be a 2 activation chance because he moved into terrain. But still lucky, not spent. And we'll put that on him now. And oh, before we do their action for the turn, we have +1 time. This, by the way, only applies when it's drawn for the AI action, not when we draw it to see if somebody becomes spent or whatever. So in this case, the mission track says place RE. Now, some card effects would make this move 2 instead of 1, and anything that isn't in a yellow box is an optional event. So if we had been here and drawn a +2, we would have skipped space 3 entirely and never placed the RE, the rumored enemy, for that. What place RE means is that we put a no enemy counter into the encounter bag or the little enemy cup, and then we're going to place an extra RE near another one, basically, randomly. So there'll be more unknown people on the board, but more chance that they're also nothing. Okay, so let's see. This rumored enemy is the one that is closest to my units down here. I roll to see where it goes. A 1 going around to 6. Okay, so a 2 will be straight to the right. And then it says if there's better cover in one hex or if there's already a unit in that hex, we can move them. But in this case, there isn't. Wait, can my guys see them now? Because I would love to reveal them. They've got the woods, and yeah, they've got the very corner of those woods, so we can't quite make them out yet. But now we get to the actual action, and again, we're going to do execute counter actions, them moving towards the control point of my side, because nobody can attack at close range. And we'll roll off which of these guys does it. I hope it's the one who's stressed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No such luck. It's the newest one, but looking, I can see him here, because if you just skirt the side of terrain, it doesn't affect you. And then this guy can see him. No, he can't. So yeah, he's going to go to that hex, so he can't be seen. Oh wait, actually, that doesn't get him closer to it, so I think even though he will be seen, he'll move here. So let's reveal if he's real or not. Kind of hoping he's not, because he's so close. Yes, okay, so that was a nothing. That addition of the new token didn't really do much. With that, let's get our same old thing going. We'll spend our 3rd command point. So we've got 3 left. And there's stress, but don't have to roll or draw for him. Alright, new AI card. If the AI plus units is less than or equal to 6, it's not. There's a lot more than that on the board. We would advance time twice. Basically, it tries to finish the game up if a lot of things are dead. We'll skip those. No counteraction. Okay, let's see. Highest attack rating AI, farthest from the lowest defense value unit that's closest to an AI. Attack with a +1 bonus. And I think this will actually apply, yeah, because both the rifles and the machine gunners can shoot this guy. They each have 3 attack rating. They're both within their range because the machine gunners have 9 range. But the AI will prefer people that have a better chance of not becoming spent. The machine gunners would need a 3, the rifles would need a 4. So they'll shoot at me. And since they're shooting at my front, I have a 12 defense to start, and Lightwoods give a +1 bonus. So they need to get a 13 or higher to beat me, with a 3 bonus to a 2d6 die roll. That's how attacks work. So they need 10 or higher, and the AI will not take attacks that are 11 or higher, but this is barely within the range of things they'll try. Of course they miss. We hope that they're spent. Ah, yes they are, a 1. That was a 3 cost, so you just flip somebody over. That means they cannot be used again without a command action for the rest of the round. So that was great, a fruitless shot, making the rest of my guys safer as they run up. Oh, wait a second, I just realized, can I see this guy? Yes, I can. Now, he's not stressed, the machine gunners are the ones who just went. But let's see who this is. And sorry, I forgot that when I moved my machine gunner up, I could have seen that guy. We probably would have had that extra rumored enemy be somewhere else. Alright, now this is a submachine gun rifle. Strongest firepower the Russians have on the board, but they have very short range. But I don't care about that. They are out in the open. My machine gunner is going to open up on them. So 4 firepower. These guys are 12 defense, but with no bonuses. I could spend some command points, some caps for each one you spend. It's +1 to the roll. So like +1 would give me a 7 chance of hurting them. And generally speaking, the first time you hit a unit, they get a negative token on them. And then if you hit them again while they have one of those tokens, then they die. Now, let's not spend caps yet. Let's just try to get this 8. Oh my gosh! So actually, I wish I'd spent the 1 cap, because if you equal or exceed their defense, which remember is 8 right now, but would have been 7 if I had spent the command point, then they get hit. But if you exceed it by 4 or more, they're straight up dead. So if I'd spent the command point to lower this to 7, this 11 would have been a kill shot. But as it is, they are hit. You have a bag for foot infantry, and you have another one for vehicles. You draw one randomly face down, but you don't get to find out what happened to them exactly, if they're already dead, or if they just can't shoot, or even if they go berserk and have bonuses, until you shoot at them again, or they take an action. That's when you'll flip it and find out what happened. Now, that was a 2 action cost. I could spend command points to make them definitely not become activated, but... it was a 1. Okay, so they are spent. But the good news is our infantry's main competition for reaching that control point, and that one is now potentially very hurt. Let's see, AI is going to do counter action again, which is moving the person closest to the German control marker. So that means this guy wants to move. Let's find out if he can. So this guy is suppressed. So this says R greater than or equal to 7. That means if he takes a rally action, which costs 5 activation points, then he rolls 2 dice. If he gets a 7 or higher, he gets rid of it. He gets a bonus if he's in cover. But this corresponds to his little activation spaces, so it'll cost him 1 extra action to shoot now, and he has -2 to his firepower. So he is terrible at attacking, but sadly, not any worse at moving, so he's still going to get closer to that control marker. And let's see, he'll definitely prefer to go here and be out of my machine gunner's range. I mean, he's spent, but I could have used command points to shoot again, so probably a good call. Let's try to move my guys up and get a shot on him. So if I group move them now, like into the forest, I'd have to spend 2 command points to guarantee that they're okay instead of 1. I mean, they can move here and no one's really going to be able to shoot at them, especially with these submachine gunners so messed up. So, yeah, let's just move this guy by himself and spend 1 command point to make sure he doesn't get spent. And now we can alternate back and forth for these guys, or at some point we can bring in our second machine gunner. Now let's see, if AI plus units is less than or equal to 10, that I think it is. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. That means time will increase by 1. So that's going to place another blank in the bag and another RE within 2 of another one. So this guy's the closest to our units. Let's see where it goes. Okay, straight right again. Ooh, and that's a pretty good spot for them, right in some nice woods defense. Okay, but now let's see. Okay, they aren't doing any of that. Oh, so this one says if the number of fresh AI is less than the number of fresh units, the AI passes. How a round actually ends is if both players pass consecutively, which will often happen when you've run out of people to move, but can happen earlier with this kind of card. But here with the REs counting, they've got 5 people not spent, and I've got only 3, including my machine gun off the board, so definitely not happening. Let's see, if they don't have a mortar, skip that. AI farthest from the lowest defense value unit attacks. I think the only AI that's in range to attack is the rifle. It's going to be that same 10 attack as the last one needed. No, that's not it. They have a 4 activation, let's hope. Yes, they are spent. This is not bad. They're not making much happen, and a lot of their best fighters are taken out in some way. We should be able to rush up. See, I'm not going to spend the caps to make sure it happens, but I'm going to push this guy into the heavy forest. With the +1 for moving into terrain. Nope, you got a 6. Awesome. All right, if AI plus units less than or equal to 4, +2 time. No. And we do have a counter action. So that'll be our friend here again. If he moves here, he could be shot. If he moves there, he couldn't be. So he's going to be right there, almost to the control marker. No. Let's see, I'm thinking if I move up here, I can be waiting for him. Because if you shoot somebody that is 1 away from you, then you get a big bonus to firepower. You can probably finish him off. So even though he's out in the open, let's move this rifle guy up here, and we'll spend a cap to make sure he's not exhausted by that, so he's ready to rush into the control point. And let's see, he's getting close to having line of sight on that guy, whereas these guys are all in cover, so it wouldn't matter if he could see them or not. All right, the AI's got a command order, so they won't have to draw a card, and they're going to execute counteractions again. Now, good thing for me is because this guy has my units within 3, he won't use that move action. So they're going to pick the next AI closest to the token, which is a tie between these. So we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is the one in terrain. I like that. But he does a low-risk move towards, so he's definitely going to go there and still be hidden. And he is not spent. All right, now, I don't want to run in there because he could just blast me if I do. Although he is suppressed, so I guess he would have less chance of killing me, but I still don't love that. So let's move these rifles up, I guess. We'll just draw for it. And this is great. When you're using the deck instead of the dice, this little check mark means that no matter what, your unit's not exhausted. So this is a little fun, bonus you can get sometimes. Yeah, I got another command action, another counter action. All right, so that'll be this guy again, because he's closer. If he goes there, this guy can shoot him. If he goes here, I don't think anybody can shoot him, so we'll definitely prefer that. And it was a command order, so don't have to draw for him. All right, and it might be a bit crazy, but I think with the suppression and me being in heavy woods, this guy will be safe. So he's going to run up to here, and that will remove the control marker. And I'll spend my last command point to make only a 1 exhaust him. Oh, look at that! That's awesome. Because now that leaves him ready to blast this submachine gunner in the face and potentially finish him off since he's already hit. And we did remove the German control marker. Again, that wasn't a real control marker for victory points. Only this one really matters for gaining victory points. But that does mean now that the AI won't have those to give them more counter actions, getting closer to us, kind of maneuvering in more intelligent ways. They're going to be a little bit less mobile now. All right, no time for this. We have too many units. Oh, crud, I forgot. This guy is at close range. So you do the first one. In this case, he wants to rally instead of attacking. Talking about the submachine gunner here. And he needs a 7 or higher. He's not in any terrain to help him out. And yes, he didn't get it, and he'll probably waste his turn. Because remember, rallying is a 5 activation cost. Yes! So he is spent. He is suppressed. I have 2 guys right next to him. You are going to be done. Oh, and I forgot. I can see this guy now, can't I? Yes, I can. So by the way, this guy is here. Let's see who this is. Oh, geez, it's more basic rifles. Is sitting out in the open? Yes, please. Alright, I could have this guy shoot right now, but he'd have a higher chance of getting activated and spent. I'm not too worried about these guys attacking, so let's have my second friend move up, ready to blast away too. Does need a 2 not to become spent. Ah, darn it. Alright, so he's spent, but he gets the stress token, so this guy can shoot a bit more freely now. Wait, I can't see this guy, can I? Nope, I barely clipped the farce right here. Alright, if AI plus units is less than or equal to 10, it is +2 time. Ah, darn it, we get to our first scoring the victory hex. And the Russians are still holding it, so they increase their lead. And let's see, fresh AI less than fresh units. No, I've got 2 and they've got 3, so they won't pass. And let's see, AI closest to a unit or mission objective, low risk move towards it. And you ignore people that can't do it because they're spent if it's not a command action, so that's going to be this guy. And let's see, to get out of a firing range, it'd be easier for him to go around this way, so he'll go here, I guess. And try to get, to my flank, basically. But I'm not going to worry about him. Let's have this guy try to shoot him and hopefully kill him. So he's just got 12 defense. I have 2 firepower, but when you're adjacent, you get +3. If you're in the same space with close combat, you get +4. So basically 5 versus 12, I need a 7, and he is dead. Come on! No! And he's got a 3 activation for attacking. Darn it! Ah, that was terrible in so many ways. And meanwhile, the AI, nobody is fresh to do those. Okay, an unhit AI in cover closest to a fresh unit attacks. He's not in cover, he doesn't have line of sight, he's too far away. Okay, the AI in 0 defense modifier closest to a unit or mission objective, low risk moves towards cover closest to the target. So that's clearly this guy. What cover is closest to the target? I guess he's going to go towards there. When it's a low risk move, they don't want to get into close range. So he'll just kind of go like that. He has +1 from the move. Yes, the AI does not get this checkmark bonus, so he is spent. Very nice. So the only units left for the AI to activate are those 2 guys. And looking, I can see that they're not real units, but unfortunately they can still kind of prolong the turn. But I have not even brought in my second machine gunner, so let's get him doing stuff. And the big thing I notice is this guy is just sitting out in the open. So let's see, where can I get a quick shot on him? Boom! Right there. That's going to be my hex. So let's go right into here. I guess I'll have that orientation. And let's hope we don't draw a 1 for the move. Nope, it's a 3. And ooh, we got rid of one of their command cards. I like that. All right, in the AI, we know they can't shoot right now, so we're basically just looking for movement stuff. Okay, AI closest to a unit, closest to a mission objective, moves towards them. Oh, wait, there are no more mission objectives for the AI. So we actually go down to this, where every RE low-risk moves towards the closest units. Interesting. Okay, so this guy would want to go into the cover. This guy, I think, needs to come out of the cover, or he can't get actually closer to us. Yeah, so he'll move like that and get revealed. Oh, and that's right, these guys are nothing, so he's just gone. But this one is technically stressed, but he did not get a 2 or a 1 to become spent. And now let's see, I could pass to get rid of the stress, assume they'll do something on their next turn, and then shoot without the penalty. But I don't want to miss my chance in case they can't really do anything, so let's take the shot at this guy. So he's not in cover. I've got 4 against 12, need an 8 to hit him. Come on, come on, come on. Oh my gosh, it's twice I was 1 off. And sadly, even if I hadn't been stressed, this would have been enough. All right, so I have no units left, and I have no command points, so I'm going to have to pass on my next turn, but let's see if they do. All right, they can't do counter actions because there's no objectives left on the board. And let's see, they can't attack a fresh unit. Nobody's in 0 defense. Okay, so low risk move towards a unit or mission objective. So that'll be this guy moving into the trees. And with the stress, a 3 will be enough. No, they're still going. which I don't mind too much. I'd like them to reveal that they are nothing. Oh no, unless we get a command order, because now everyone who is spent is eligible for this. And I think we're going to go, yup, with the close range submachine gunner. Ah, he's going to pivot and attack. So he's going to attack one of my guys, and they're both equivalent, and he doesn't need to pivot, which would be turning. So they got to roll off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the right. Guy on the left. So their 4 firepower plus 3 for being close is 7. Minus 2 for being suppressed is 5. And my guy's got 12 plus 2 from the forest, 14. So they need a 9. Not too terribly scared. Yeah, we're fine. All right, I'm going to keep on passing until they stop. Oh my gosh, plus 2 time, really? Oh, and this is great. So yellows we always resolve even though we're passing over it. They're going to get a Soviet rifle into the draw cup, so now there'll be a nothing and a rifle in there. And place a little hidden thing on the G18 hex, although the hexes are different since this is 2nd edition solo and 3rd edition map. So the new token pops up here. Then we're also putting another blank token in the bag and rolling for where it goes. It's going to go off from this guy. Let's see, 6 is straight up left, so it's going to be right there. Dang, they're all far away or in cover. I don't know where anybody is. Well, now they have a lot more to do, don't they? Okay, so the AI closest to a unit will move towards them, so that'll be this guy. Okay, so he's just going to come out into the open. Pretty good chance he's nothing. Let's see. And yes, indeed. Okay, so he's gone. We're going to keep on passing, but we got to give these guys a chance to do stuff. All right, so no time passing here. And we'll just basically go right to moving towards the closest one. So he'll just go like that. But he is spent. Good. And I pass again. We just don't want them to draw command actions. Okay, no time passing again. And they're going to do a low risk towards us. Since we can't see him anyway, he'll just go into the road. And not spent. Okay, and then he's going to move again. He's still not spent. Oh my gosh. All right, let's keep going with this guy so he can't attack. He's going to do a low risk move. Or no, he's going to do mission orders, which just means the furthest one move towards us. And I think he's going to keep on preferring the easier to move into terrain until he gets closer. Okay, but he is spent, so now I'll pass again, and let's see, unless they've gotten a command action, they pass as well. That's the end of the round. So nothing really huge happens at the end of the round. We just flip everybody up. They are ready to go again. I get a new action card, Battlefield Confusion. During an opponent's turn, add a 3 action point penalty to an enemy unit's action cost before it checks. That's a great one, I like that. My command points also reset to 6. And now we do initiative. So how it works is I roll 2d6. I need an 8 or above to beat the AI, so they have a better chance of going first. But I can spend command points to give myself a better chance. I'd love to get a first shot on that submachine gun guy before you can heal or anything. Let's spend 2 and try to get it with a 6 or higher. Oh my gosh, okay, well they go first anyway, that was a waste. And you also reshuffle the entire action deck, although I had just done that because we actually ran out with all those random extra moves at the end. Alright, and with this guy in close range, we're going to see what he does first again. And he is going to attack, not rally, which might be okay for us. Once again, let's roll for who he attacks. It'll be the guy on the left again. And he still needs a 9 or higher. No! Now for my tokens, I can see them immediately because I don't need to hide them for myself. So I am also suppressed. Although in terrain, it'll be easier for me to get rid of that. And let's see, he's about to draw to see if he is exhausted. You know, well, no, I'm probably about to kill him. I'm not going to waste the Battlefield Confusion on him. Oh, and I didn't need to. He was spent anyway. All right, so before anything else happens, let's have this guy try to gun him down. And it's 2 plus 3 is 5. Against 12, we need a 7 or higher. Let's make it a 5 or higher. Please don't be a waste again. Yes! Oh my gosh, that would have been a kill like in any circumstance. So this guy is dead. Boom! We can remove the hit token as well. Now, when a human player's unit is destroyed, you put it on the track, and their maximum command points actually decreases. To sort of simulate that for the AI, you discard cards from their deck until you discard a command card. So they'll eventually have fewer and fewer of those like free actions as you go along. Man, I feel great about that. That was their toughest guy. And, okay, at 2, I am spent. But, hey, I did my job. I would have loved to shoot that guy, too. The machine gun can still get him. Oh, and I can't forget, I get a victory point for each guy defeated. I want to get that control point. But if we just ran over there, it seems like that would be a quick invitation for death. Okay, what are they doing? Oh, +1 time, and then we will probably have them attack in a second. Oh, and it's reinforcements again. So another one of these up here, and they get another rifle in the bag, which now severely increases the chances that this guy will be something nasty. But that's it for their reinforcements. I'll get one more strong guy a little bit later. And let's see. Oh, wait, this says the unhit AI closest to a fresh unit that just acted. My guy got spent, so he's not fresh. Because here's this AI closest to the lowest damage value unit, defense value, will attack even if at long range with a +1 bonus. So it's clearly going to be him, and lowest defense value, I guess they're equal, but they always prefer guys who are already hit so they can try to finish him off, so he's going to shoot at this guy. So 3 firepower against 14 defense. So that's 11, but with the +1 it becomes a 10, so they do have a chance. Remember, the AI won't take shots above 11, but yeah, that was a pretty bad one. Oh, and he's spent, just sitting in the middle of a field. You made a bad choice, sir. So let's capitalize on that. Have my machine gunner shoot at him. So it's 4 versus 12. I'm still not going to boost it. I mean, 8 I have a chance with, right? Oh, come on, come on, come on. Yes. So he's hit. We don't know how badly yet. Come on, not a 2 or less. Awesome, it's a 3, so he will be stressed, but he is not spent yet. All right, no time increase, no counter actions. Hit AI closest to a unit. He would love to rally, but he's already spent. So AI closest to a unit will low risk move towards them. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I guess we're going to roll off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It'll be the machine, or no, the rifle guy, so he'll low risk move right to there. And not exhausted, needed a 1 or 2. What do I want to do now? This guy can't shoot effectively. I want to do something else before I use him, so he can shoot that guy and not become spent, hopefully. You know, let's have this machine gunner actually try to find out what that guy is. Well, is that really worth it? Yeah, why not? He's in light woods, and this 9 defense will become 10 with the woods, but I've got 4 attacks, so I've got a good chance of revealing him at least. Need a 6 or higher. What the heck? Oh my gosh, I think he'll be dead. So now I'm praying that he's a unit because that attack roll will go right onto him. No, come on, I would have, oh, darn it. Oh my gosh, would that have killed one of these rifles in waiting? Would have been 12 plus 1 is 13. Then mine would have been 12 plus 4 firepower is 16. Okay, I guess it would have just injured them. It would have been 1 away from an auto kill. So not as sad that I just cleared the guy away. And I'm not spent with a 5. Excellent. All right, no time increase. Let's see. Unhit AI closest to a fresh unit that just acted. We definitely have that, so this guy will take his little low chance 10 attack against the machine gun. Nope. Oh man, he's almost certainly going to be spent. Yup. Oh man, this is going well. Let's have our machine gunner try to finish that guy off before anything else happens. So we need an 8. Yeah, okay. You know what, I will go ahead and use my 2 remaining command points. It means I only need a 6 to kill this guy outright. Boom! Although, wait, I didn't reveal this. What is he? He was pinned, he wouldn't have been able to move, but now he is dead. So they again discard until they get a command order gone. And here we go. We jump to me having 1 victory point. I am in the lead. Although still not really any closer to getting that safely unless the machine gun just decides not to cut me down. Now, let's see if I'm exhausted. Wow, no, I am not. All right, AI is tired of this. They're doing a command order. Okay, hit AI cloud. That would have helped, but no, you can't rally. Okay, highest attack rating AI, farthest from a hit unit. I don't have any hit units. Oh, yes, I do. I only get +1 to the attack. So let's see, this guy doesn't actually have him in his command. You know, actually, he should be turned like that, so he would. But he's 6 away, so we can't shoot him, so it's going to have to be the machine gun. So this guy is in heavy woods. That's a 14. This guy's a 3 + 1 is a 4. So he needs a 10 to hit and kill me off. No such luck. It was a command order, so we don't draw for it. He's just stressed. Which is a bummer, because I would have loved to use my Battlefield Confusion, make him spent, and then rush over there. Well, you know what? Maybe on that topic, let's have this machine gunner shoot up at him. Well, I don't know. He's a 14 and I'd have 4, so I need the same 10 they do. But hey, why not? Nope. Just as much luck as them. Well, with 2 attack, I'm not spent, so it didn't cost me anything, really. Let's see. We are down some units, but no time, and no hit AI. Unhit AI closest to either that just acted. So machine gunner is going to shoot right back, although, yes, because I only have +1 defense, it will be a 10 to hit. Nope. And he's got a 3 to activate, becomes a 4. You know what? Let's make it automatic. We'll use our Battlefield Confusion. Oh, and I'm so glad I did, because he actually would not have become spent without it. So now, barring a command card, we should be able to rush in with this rifle and get that control point. Yes. All right, so here we go. Yeah, I mean, everyone's spent who could shoot at me. The other guys up there aren't close enough yet. Suppression doesn't stop me from moving. So it's just going to be a 1, so I just got to hope I don't draw a 1. Oh, and I did, but the check mark for yay! It works. So unless they get a lucky draw and kill me, I should be able to run in there and get that and start getting even more victory points for myself. And nope, they did not get a command action. They do have 8 units on the board, technically. And let's see. Actually, they do have fewer fresh AI than I do, so they're going to pass. Yeah. Wait for me to do something, and I certainly will. I'm not going to waste even another second. Let's move my suppress guy in here, flip it to my control, and then see if he gets spent. And he does indeed, a bit of a sitting duck. But he did his job, and I've still got my machine gunners to go. All right, and still no time. Now we have equal fresh units, so not going to do nothing. Okay, so the AI closest to a unit will low-risk move towards them. So it'll have to be one of these guys in low-risk move. He'll go right there. Wait, could I have seen him when he was here? Yes, I could have. Now, there's only 2 rifles left in the bag, but at least now we can say that it's a rifleman, and then he's going to go like that. And he's not spent. All right, let's see. I'm going to start trying to get this guy somewhere useful now that he killed that one dude. So let's move once. Not spent. And, ooh, this time time will advance. Oh, look at this. Yes. Score the victory point. Boom. 2 for me. You will never win. I'm only 1 away from my awesome unit coming in. All right, let's see. No one can attack the guy who just acted, but AI closest to a fresh unit. Oh, I don't have any fresh units that they can attack. So unhit AI closest to a unit, he's just going to move towards me. And he prefers to be in cover when he can, so there he goes. But he is spent, so only our hidden rifleman up there is left. I'm sorry, that guy just went, so I guess we'll have this guy shoot at somebody. Well, they only have +1 defense from the Lightwood, so I guess they'll shoot at them. So 4 versus 13, we need a 9. Whoa, only 1 off. Not spent yet. Okay, none of this stuff. They're not close enough to shoot a fresh unit. Okay, here we go. Closest to a mission objective or unit, they're going to low-risk move. Oh, I forgot this guy became spent, so I guess it's actually going to be this guy. And he's not spent, predictably. All right, let's move my machine gunner up. Not spent. Uh-oh, command order. Highest attack rating, AI farthest from the highest AR unit, +2 attack. So this is my highest AR unit, which means either of these guys could equally attack. So honestly, it doesn't really matter since they're both spent anyway, so we'll just do an attack. They're +2, which means 5 versus 13, we need an 8 or higher. Might actually make it this time. Yes, they did! But I became berserk, so I actually shoot faster, -1 to my shoot activation, +1 to my firepower, +1 to all of my defenses. Basically, this is awesome, and you don't really want to rally them unless you don't want them to die, because, of course, with a hit on them, they have a higher chance. But that was great. Well, now I'm like, what have you done? And I'm just crazy. Let's shoot at this guy so I get a +1 bonus, only 1 to attack, so probably be able to do it for a while. So let's see, 5 versus 13, I need an 8 as well. No. But not spent, still going. Alright, now back to a normal movement. They're just going to move towards me. Oh, wow, they're actually spent. So that will be their last unspent guy. Only command orders will work for them. So I could actually pass early, which might not be a bad idea. I mean, yes, I haven't fully used these guys yet, but I'd love to get them untapped so they can get into defensive spaces real quick. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and pass as well. End the round early, even though I didn't spend all my guys. Get a new card. Ooh, one of the best ones. This lets me do an action of any cost with a fresh or spent unit, and it's free, so they can't possibly become spent. Amazing one. And once again, I'll spend 2 caps to try to get initiative, needing a 6 or higher, because I want to get that guy out of dodge really quickly. Come on. All right, let's see. Hit AI, there aren't any. AI closest to the lowest defense value fresh unit. We know who that is, and they get a +1 bonus. So closest, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, wait, can this guy see him? No, he's clipping that forest there, so the machine gun will shoot at him. So he's got a 4 against my 12 defense because of the +1. Oh, he's not dead, yay! But he's also not spent. But yeah, my guy's definitely going to get out of dodge into some defense. Maybe he's not out of dodge, he's right in their face, but now he can try to rally. And good, he's not spent as well, very important. Okay, time's still not advancing. Okay, AI closest to a unit, low risk, move toward them, really. We've got 1, 2, 3 that are equally close, so we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, and it's going to be this guy down here. So low risk move, he has to get closer, but he wants to potentially flank him, so I guess he'll go like this. Oh my gosh, and he's spent. I am so sorry, buddy. Oh, you had all these delusions of grandeur, now you're just going to get shot. And yeah, let's oblige him. Berserk dude. Oh man, 5 firepower, so he needs a 7 to hit him. Boom! Love that clutch 6 there. We don't know how he's hurt yet, but we'll find out soon. Oh, you're kidding me. I'm spent even with 1 to attack? Well, the good thing is I can use 1 command action to attack with him anyway, because you have to spend the cost. So not too worried about him. All right, but first we're getting a time advance. And my SS trackers show up. They are my toughest unit, these pioneers. They can lay down smoke. They can do flamethrower attacks that use the opponent's weakest defense and ignore any terrain bonuses for where they are. So yeah, pretty nasty guys. Now they're all the way up there, so I'm not sure if they're going to do much. At least they can go bother that dude, maybe. Or, ooh, what if they like creep up behind the machine gunner? Yes. All right, let's see. Highest attack rating guy, closest to a guy who just acted. Oh, that means these guys will shoot at my Berserk guys. They have a +1 bonus, but Berserk gives them +2 defense. Gosh, that's crazy. So they have a 15? No, it's too rough of an attack for them to do. Oh, and they aren't fresh anyway, so we're just doing AI closest to a fresh unit. So that'd be him to him. So yeah, this will be 3 versus 13. They need a 10. No, the snake eyes. But they're not spent. Alright, I could have this guy try to finish him off, but since he's currently stressed, it would cost 2 command points instead of 1, so let's do something else. Let's have these guys try to rally. So we need a 7 or higher, but because they're in cover, they need a 6. There we go! Now that is sadly a 5 cost action. So yes, they are spent. But they're not close to dying anymore. Alright, if AI plus units is less than or equal to 24 plus 1 time, yeah, I think it is. And that means here comes our first supply truck. We roll a 1d6 on a 1, 2, or 3. They pop in here on a 4, 5, 6 here. And they drive along the road toward the other side. Every time the time marker moves, they move 3 spaces, basically. And they'll be down here. And they immediately move, and they have 3 movement. Vehicles can move extra sometimes. So remember, if that gets off the other side, I get a victory point, but it's also a juicy, easy-to-kill target for them. And speaking of, the highest attack rating AI closest to a hit unit, which would be our Berserkers, we already know that they're too tough to hurt. So this highest AR AI closest to a unit attack. So that'll be these guys again. With the stress, they're equally likely to become spent, so let's roll. Okay, it'll be the machine gunner. Alright, so once again, a cruddy attack. They need a 10, and they did not get it. They're also not spent. Wow, even a 4 would have taken them out. Let's see. Let's have my machine gunner move up. Oh, they are spent? Come on. Alright, AI not losing time. Nobody can shoot the guy that just acted. AI closest to a hit unit. Oh, +2. Would that be enough? What are they again? They are a 15. So I don't think so. +2 would make this 5. Oh yeah, so they would have a 10. So this guy's going to shoot at them. I'm kind of happy about that. Waste the attack because they did not kill him. And there we go. Now this guy is spent. Good, good, good. So with that, I do think I'm going to get my Pioneer up in the corner moving. But let's have this guy try to finish him off. So I'm going to spend 1 cap to get an attack even though he's spent. Because Berserk makes it only 1 cost. I'm not even sure what I need, but it shouldn't be much. I'm sure that's enough. Well, let's see what this guy has first. He was suppressed, but now he is dead. And another command card gone. Not looking good for the Russians. The last time I played this, they destroyed me, but gotten some good pulls this time. So wow, only 3 AI units left on the board. Okay, no time increase. Let's see. You can't attack the guy that just acted. No hit AI on the board. Okay, AI closest to a unit, low risk move. So this guy, that would be the only one that would get him close. Yeah, so I think he goes there. I'm not 100% sure about that. Because I have these competing hierarchies where they want to get closer, but they also want to go to a higher defense value thing, and I don't think the rules really clarify which one takes precedence. The first thing mentioned is get closer, so I think they get closer if they can. And he's not spent, but obviously this is great for me, because I can just blast that guy. Well, I guess he can't. Put my rifle down here. I definitely don't have line of sight, right? No, the tree's right in the way. If I moved over, I think I would, yes. So let's do that. It's a 1 or 2 to exhaust him. No, got a 2. Oh, wait, no, it's a check mark, yes. Now, let's see. Fresh AI, less than fresh units. I have 2 fresh, not counting the truck, and so do they, so no. Okay, no hit AI. Okay, unhit AI closest to a fresh unit attack. So I guess now this guy could shoot me, but with the heavy woods he wouldn't be able to hit well enough for him, so he won't. Okay, unhit AI closest to a fresh unit that just acted, low risk move towards, so I guess he'll move like that. And a 3 would have made him spent, but no. Alright, so he is in cover now, but not as good, but this would still be a terrible shot. Yes, let's get our friends, the Pioneers, going. Let's have them just go 1 first. And they're not spent. Oh, meanwhile, AI finally gets a command action. Nobody close. Nobody can rally. Okay, highest attack AI, farthest from a hit unit. That'd be another +1, but they can't hurt my hit guy. They're berserk with that. Okay, an AI in a 0 DM hex. Closest to a unit. Oh, they're going to low risk move. So this guy's in a 0 defense spot. And he's equally distant from them. We'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's going to go down here. And I guess he'd prefer to stay in cover. And it's command order, so no chance of him becoming spent. I've actually got kind of a wacky idea, because I've got a bunch of command points left, and this thing lets me do any action. What if I, move them twice and then blast this guy at close range? Yeah, I like the idea. So we'll spend 1 command point to have them move. Hopefully they don't get an action to attack us. Alright, nobody can shoot the guy that just acted. Nobody can rally. Okay, now the highest attack AI, farthest from the lowest defense value unit. Oh, can they see the truck? I don't think so, right? No, they're through there. So can they get... Yeah, they can get a 10 on him, and it's a +1, so they need a 9. Oh, my gosh, they actually hit him. And he's pinned, unable to move. But that guy's spent. Good for us. All right, since he's stressed, we'll move our Pioneer again. Once again, the check mark saves us. You can increase difficulty by making those not help you out. Now we just have to use the 1 here. Oh, we're getting a double time move. So we're skipping over a landmine and going right to a supply truck. Another one coming in, and we score another victory point. So we're really running away with things now. Let's see, this time the truck comes in on the other side. So this one pops in over here and goes 1, 2, 3. And I don't know if they count as having seen this guy. I don't think so. Then the other truck rushes up to meet them. Okay, now fresh AI is less than fresh units. Yes, so the AI passes. And I could pass 2, but first let's try to get rid of this. 6 with the +1 bonus for being in cover. Yes, he's no longer pinned. Although, yes, of course he's spent since it costs 5. Oh, another command order. Let's see, a hit guy would auto-rally. No. An unhit AI, farthest from an unhit fresh unit, will do an attack with +2. Oh, and this definitely isn't good. Either of these guys can shoot the truck. No. So let's see, they both have 3. Doesn't really matter, so they have +2. So that's 5 versus 11. So a 6 will hit, a 10 will kill. They just hit it. Oh, and there's actually good. So nothing to stop them from moving. They're just lightly damaged. Although if they don't get out of there pretty quickly, one more hit and they're dead. Alright, before we get back to my Pioneer, let's enact my plan. So I'll go ahead and move like that. So that used up another cap. Let's say AI plus unit less than or equal to 6. No, I mean not counting the trucks, that would not apply. Okay, AI closest to a hit unit doesn't apply. Okay, closest to a unit, move towards it. So it'll be this guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so he's going to move toward the truck. And I guess he'd rather be here to definitely be out of line of sight. And not spent. Okay, Pioneer, try to get in there, buddy. With the train move, he is spent. Darn it. Okay, still no time. They're not passing. Okay, so they're going to low-risk move towards a unit. So it'll be this guy again. And a 3. Ooh, he is spent. Yes, because it was +1 from this and from the train. Alright, cool. I guess I'll finish the turn out by these guys doing their attack. Although, I have 1 command point left. And since there's a road, even though this is terrain, it still only costs 1 to move into. So I can do that. And that'll be against their 10 defense instead of their 12 since I'm in their flank. Only thing that would help the AI is a command. They didn't get it, so they just pass. Now I'm going to use my command action to do an attack with these guys. So it's 2 firepower plus 3 is 5 against 10. Although I guess they get their terrain bonus. So actually I need a 7 to hit. It's not as good as I thought. Oh! Or it's an 11 and they are dead. Wow. So I lost another command card. I'm up to 4 victory points. Oh, and I actually did get a command order. So no rally. An AI in 0 defense modifier, neither of them is. The unhit AI farthest from a unit or mission objective, low risk move towards. So that'd be this guy, and once again, I'm not sure of the priorities, but I guess he'd move towards the truck. Well, I need to shoot it, buddy. Alright, with no caps, no unspent units, I'll certainly pass. And they do as well. Although first, +2 time. Oh, so interesting, they're actually placing another counter. So that means there's a nothing now in with the 1 rifle. Because we still somehow haven't seen this guy, and 6 would be there. And there's nowhere for it to go, so we're just going to see it right away. Oh, this is not good. They got the rifle right next to it. And oh my gosh, since that's a new token, it's not spent. So this one's going to be nothing, but they're going to get a shot on that truck right away. So yeah, now we go right into attacking since they are within close range. And that's 6 versus 11. They just need a 5. Oh, wait, hold on. This would have actually moved 3, so they could not have shot it. The other truck would have moved 3 as well. This is good, because that shot would have stunned the truck, and they can't rally, so it would have just sat there until he killed it, basically. But that does mean, what does he actually do now? So it looks like now he's just going to move towards the closest unit. So I guess he would go like that to be out of their firing arc. That one funny is spent. So I'll pass again, and they're not doing anything, so that's the end of the round. So yeah, this is not going to last much longer. They're on their last legs. I got another command action to go with the caps I've never used. And you know what, I'll go ahead and spend 2 caps to try to go first, because I'd like to shoot this guy before he shoots at the truck and kills it off. 6 with 2, that does beat 8, so cool, we will go first. And yeah, let's have this guy shoot at him. So, it's a 2 against 10, that's not that great. Well, let's be wacky because we have this bonus caps card and spend our remaining 4 to make it a 6 to hit him instead. That'll do it. Now we'll just hope that this is good enough to prevent him from attacking. Ooh, and our guy is not spent. Excellent. Alright, he's going to try to rally because he is the hit AI. And we found out he is suppressed and he has no bonus. He's not in cover. So he needs a 7 straight up. Oh no. Oh, and he's spent. Oh my gosh, this is probably the end. I mean, it was already the end, but now it's more the end. Now let's go and have this guy do his little sneak attack again. He'll move up 1. Not spent. Good. Now look at the only guys they have left. Can't rally. Closest to the lowest defense value. They can't see anybody over here. Oh, can this guy see anybody? Nope. Everyone's blocked by woods. Let's see. Yeah, closest to a unit, closest to a mission objective if there aren't any, so we ignore that. So we just have the hidden tokens doing a low-risk move. So this guy's going to go like that and become spent, which seems fair because he's not actually a person. We know that already. Let's see over here. Ooh, if I get my machine gun here, I can shoot this guy as well. So let's do that. And become spent. Darn it. Oh, no. AI. Okay, a hit in fire zone. Highest attack. Okay, so that guy's going to auto-rally. Well, so it goes. But we can still do my plan, I think. Let's go here for 1. Not spent. All right, a no time movement. Fresh AI is definitely fewer than my units, so they'll pass. You know what, I want to use that caps card, so let's have this random berserk guy do it. Does count as a 2 action, so they might become exhausted. But we go from 0 to 2. Okay, we got a few command points. And they're not spent. Okay, meanwhile, time advances 1. It's basically over already, but we only have a few more time advances before it happens for real. And trucks, get out of dodge. Oh, wait, where am I going? Oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I forgot I'm supposed to go up here. So 1, 2, 3. I mean, it would have been in the same spot where he could have been shot, so we'll just call it even and go up there. Meanwhile, 1, 2, 3, so they'll pass each other in a second. But they're all screened from attack, so that's nice. All right, and they're going to pass again. And now let's do this. Come on in and become sprint. Well, you know what? It's okay. I've got this to work off of again. All right, and let's see. I think execute mission order is just to move closer. Because this is the only guy who can do anything, so he's going to say hello and probably get burned to death in a second. Although he's not spent. Yeah, for my action, I will certainly use my flamethrower. So how it works is they automatically do 3 damage, they automatically use their weaker defense, and you ignore their terrain, although you have to do it at range 1 or 0. So I'll still get the +3 bonus, so this will be 6 against 11 defense. I'll need a 5. Alright, oh man, 1 off of an auto kill. There you go, my friend. And what the hey, let's spend our 2 command points to make sure we don't become exhausted. Alright, let's see. They are the hit AI, although there are no mission objectives, so would they still do this? I guess not. So AI closest to the lowest. Okay, they're going to attack the guy. I think that's more fun anyway. Let's see what they got. Oh, they are cowering, so it's harder for them to attack, harder for them to move, but they actually get more defense. Fun. But they got 3 firepower, +3 is 6. I've got 12 +1, so they need a 7 to hit me. Oh, and they got it! Quite the little battle, but they're just unnerved. No negative effect. Whereas you guys with the negative are going to be spent no matter what, because they would have needed a 7. So, although they're cowering, so they'll be slightly harder to kill. So for now, let's switch back to these guys. Use the command action attack. So that's 5 versus 12. We need a 7. Oh, and we got it. Oh, you know what I'm forgetting? There is an objective. It would have been the control point that I switched. So I bet some things could have been different, but we're not going to worry about it. They are hit. And all their units are spent, so they do nothing. Over here, let's have the Pioneers roast these guys again. So we do have one more defense, so now it's 6 versus 12. Oh, and they actually missed because of that one defense. Look at that. But my guys aren't spent, so they'll have another chance in a second. Oh, and the guys actually got a command order. And they want to attack first, so which one of them will? I think since we know that guy's hit would affect his attacking, they would try for this one. Oh, he can't attack at all, so I think it would switch to him. I don't think the action is wasted just because they didn't know what their injury was. So they need another 7, and they'll just straight up kill me. That would be crazy. Ah, ha, 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 ha. You are terrible. All right, let's go ahead and shoot back. I'm not going to worry about the fact that we're stressed. There we go. Done. Oh, we're still not spent. Yikes. We can finally find out that that's nobody. And they just passed. So sure, why not? Let's have the Pioneers attack them. So 4 attack, and this guy's got +1, so they just need a 6. And then we find out that it's nothing. Oh, and interesting, we do get +2 time. So this happens. Oh, and a hit AI closest to a unit auto rallies. They drink some vodka and they feel better. But we do go up to 5 victory points. And this guy is suddenly healed. Oh, and the trucks, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I mean, yeah, I think we can call this. You can see how this would go. This is pretty much a rout. Wow, they didn't kill any of my guys. Last time, like I said, I think they killed 3 of mine. I only killed like 1 of theirs, and they won by maybe 4 victory points. So that was Conflict of Heroes, the 3rd edition with the sort of 2nd edition solo rules. And again, if you'd like to see my thoughts on the game, click on the link for the review video. Good gaming, everyone, and I'll see you at the next stop.